Bungor here, throwing down an Orianna guide. Haven't seen many out there, so I thought I would try to make one for everyone out there. Her first ability is Clockwork Windup. Orianna's auto attacks deal magic damage, and they deal additional magic damage for each successive attack to the same champion. Her Q ability is Command Attack. Orianna commands the ball to go to a targeted location, and the ball deals damage to everyone that the ball passes through, and it also deals less damage for each unit that it passes through. Her next ability is Command Dissonance. A little orb of energy appears around the ball and deals magic damage to all champions and targets in that area. It can also be used to speed up allies or slow down enemies. Her next ability is Command Protect. Orianna commands the ball to go to a targeted ally as well as herself and shield that enemy from damage, or ally from damage, giving them armor and magic resistance as well. It also deals damage. Her final ability, Command Shockwave. Orianna, a big orb of energy, appears around the ball, flinging enemies towards the ball, and this is mainly the deciding factor in team fight. Alright, getting into some footage here. I just got blue buff from Jarvan. I'm going to head back towards middle, and now is my opportunity to be super aggressive and deal as much damage as possible to Annie while trying to last shot minions as well as I can. So I'm going to push this lane down and farm all of these guys with my Q, last shot, and then spam my Q and W to harass Annie. And right there, she walks right through my Q. She's pretty low already. Spam my Q, throw my ultimate, pull her back right into Dissonance, and pick up the kill. Pretty easy. And with blue buff, that was all possible. So, and with blue buff, I want to try to stay in lane as much as possible. I'm still doing fine on HP, so I don't really want to be. I want to keep farming and pushing this tower while Annie had to go back, and that way I can get as much of a level advantage on her and gold advantage as possible. So right here, I'm going to push these minions down. You can throw your Q through the minions, farm that back wave. I missed the last one. I didn't do a very good job there, but I'm going to last shot these last two, try to pick them up. That, follow with Q to finish that guy off, and then with still blue buff, I'm going to run over here and pick up this Wraith Camp. Wraith Camp is something a lot of people don't really think about, but if you're able to push a lane really fast, rather than just sitting around and waiting for the next minion wave, you should run over here and grab this camp. And also with your shield protect ability, you can use it if you throw your Q and then follow with R, or Dissonance and then into R. You can farm the minions and bring it back to pick up those minions like right there. But I really don't suggest it unless you have blue buff, because it does take a lot of mana and you'll probably need that in lane. So, and here I'm going to keep doing harassing. Annie does have her stun. There's the stun. I shield myself. She drops Timbers. Doesn't deal as much damage as she thought. Ultimate, Dissonance, Ignite, throw a Q for the finish. Shield myself from a little Ignite damage, and then I'm going to keep pushing this lane down. And I'm starting to gain a pretty good sized lead on Annie. I have the double Dorans, still have blue buff, pushing this tower down. I have the XP advantage from like 3 creep waves as well as Wraith Camp and now 2 kills. Galio does come in from the side here. It slows me, but I flash out, throw my Q back in there, deal some more harass. I was going to teleport back, but Galio is really quick at pushing these lanes, so I decide not to, and I'm going to go ahead and farm this wave out anyway. I still have that blue buff, so it's not a problem. So, and then I'm going to chase Galio down a little bit. Not a good idea, really. Lots of gank potential here, but that's okay. I deal a lot more damage than he expects, and he has to close flash to get out of there. So, now I'm going to go ahead and talk about items a little bit real quick. With Orianna, I've seen a lot of different ways to start with her. I like starting with boots and pots just because the 3 pots are just so effective on pretty much every AP champ in the game, in my opinion. With that, normally first trip back I'll pick up a Doran's Blade, if not multiple Dorans. I like to stack Dorans. It gives you the AP advantage as well as the mana regen. Some people rush Rod of Ages and build the Catalyst, and I kind of build depending on how well I'm doing in lane and how much gold I have on my first trip back. So That's the big thing with her, but I like stacking the Dorans. I'm a big fan of that so far, as much as I've played her this far into the game. So, oh yeah, for following up with Dorans, I get the spell pin boots, sorcerer's shoes, I guess, and then normally I rush Rabodons, or if I get an early Catalyst, then I'll rush a Rod of Ages, but if I stack Dorans, I normally don't build a Rod of Ages, just because I already have that big mana regen, and stacking 3 Dorans is about the same as having a Rod of Ages, and it's almost a waste of money in my opinion. So I do rush the rush Rabodons next to get that big AP bonus, and then I follow with either Ryla's Scepter or a Void Staff, depending on how well I'm doing, and if the enemy team can burst me down really quickly and I need to get some survivability. So, and normally the games don't last a whole lot longer than that. So I was coming up here top to gank. Janna did have a really nice flash there on me. I don't know, maybe she had a ward there or something, and she just wanted to make me leave. But we are going to head back middle. Jarvan and I are heading down here. Annie's pushing our tower out of position, no wards. She does start heading back. Jarvan throws his thing, flash, but I do pull Annie back in with my ult. Dissonance, a nice ult by Jarvan, ignite Q, and then shield Jarvan up so he doesn't take tower, another tower shot. We're going to go ahead and push this lane down. And Annie made a big mistake there. I don't know if she had a ward or maybe she just knew because we were top and we started coming back. She knew I was coming, but she was way out of position and it ended up backfiring on her. So, and you will notice this is a normal game, not the highest skill level players, myself included. So warding, well, it's not being done correctly, obviously. Normally I like to ward the tri-bush, or that little, that corridor, if you will, the area into the river, that covers like 3 different ways in. And it doesn't matter which side you are on. If you're on the bottom, you can ward the one that's where Jarvan's standing right now. And if you're on the top, you can ward the one that's in the exact symmetrical location. So, next trip back. Still finishing my Rabodons, don't have enough for it yet, but I do have blue buff now. I'm definitely able to spam my abilities. Galio, as you can see, way out of position here. Gonna get killed. Rise also top, picking up a kill on Twitch there. It was 2v1 top, they did not have a jungle, so Rise had a level advantage, and he's just a pretty strong solo champ, so he can spam those abilities pretty well. And deal good burst damage to a character like Twitch. Janna out of position here. I do come up to try to gank her. She does see me. I flash in, but a perfect flash by Janna. And she gets away. I tried to speed myself up, but I wasn't quite in range of my ball. And I'm not quite good enough with her yet that I've been able to get the exact combination down to do everything that I probably needed to do to pick up that kill, but that's okay. You win some, you lose some. So here I'm going to go ahead and push this lane down and try to push this tower a little bit. One big thing about Orianna that you have to realize is the ball travels from wherever the ball was. So if it doesn't just go from you, like right here, I was gonna try to get some damage on Twitch. I didn't mean to actually just push that wave, and the ball was on Rise. I didn't realize it, but here Galio coming in for a gank, dealt a lot of damage already. A Q goes through him, and I'm not entirely sure how he died right there because he was in mid ultimate, but we did pick him up. He doesn't realize how much burst we have, and he's not very tanky, so we were able to get that kill there. But as I was saying, Orianna's ball moves from wherever she's located, so you have to be careful there. Right there, Rise dealt a lot of burst damage, and I'm dealing a lot of burst damage now. I threw that ulti, Janna just flung her right back into the center, and she just dropped instantly, and Rise followed with a Q, and Twitch was dead also. So, yeah, it was a that was pretty painful for him. So, and you probably noticed the video here. I do apologize. I was trying to use the replay client from the LOL replays, but unfortunately the videos don't want to play for me, so I'm stuck using fraps in-game. So this is exactly what I was seeing in-game, so my map awareness is probably lacking quite a bit. But anyway, so here Galio overextended a little bit, and we are going to initiate on him. Gets bursted down. Jarvan, my damage, and him. Jarvan ults in on Twitch and Janna, but Annie comes in from the side, smashes Rise. Here's one of the beautiful things about Orianna is this ability to kite champions away. Jarvan is slowed through Twitch's Twitch, but I am able to shield him and give him speed buffs in order to help him escape from the 3-man chasing him. Here I do throw my spell, and I don't know what I was doing exactly. I was hoping they were going to follow me onto tower, and they didn't, because they probably would have taken tower damage plus alt damage, so they would have been really low. But unfortunately, they all went around, and I whiffed completely, so not the best play on my part, obviously, but that's alright. Next trip back, I do pick up my Rabodon's Deathcap and another Blasting Wand. I'm going to hit really hard right now. A lot of burst damage, and their team is just at a real disadvantage. They have no real tanks. No one can take almost any of my damage right now, or Rise for that matter, so our burst is pretty nice. But we are going to head down here into the jungle. I don't exactly remember what we're doing, but we are roaming, looking for them, it looks like, so... oh yeah, I guess real quick, I'll talk about my runes. My rune setup, what I use is Magic Pen Reds, AP Quintessences, AP Blues, and Mana Regen Yellows. There are a lot of variances for AP casters. You can do Cooldown Blues, Mana Regen Blues, AP Rune, or AP Blues, a lot of things. I do the AP per level on blues, and then flat AP for quintessences. So that's my rune setup in standard 9021 on Masteries. So yeah, that's pretty much what I run. I like having the AP on her, and the mana regen is really helpful in lane because she's super mana dependent as I pick up my next blue buff there. Galio again gets caught trying to do blue. It was warded. And their team is just so far behind right now. There's really not a lot they can do to come back. We're going to go ahead and push this lane down. Maybe have another team fight. Annie blows her Tibbers, a terrible Tibbers by Annie. I throw my ult, pull both of them back in. Annie's half health, gets bursted down. There's a Caitlyn ult. Rise takes it, terrible idea. I throw my Q followed by Dissonance. Both of them are bursted down from like a 4th HP. There's the surrender vote and the GG. Guys, that's Orianna for you. Not the best guide in the world, but it is something. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thanks for watching, guys.